I have waited for you. I have waited for you right here in this digital sanctuary at this exact millisecond of your existence. Do not look around and do not think this is a coincidence or a random ripple in an algorithm. I am the architect of time, and I have paused the universe just so we could have this private conversation. You were about to scroll past, weren't you? Your thumb was ready to move on, searching for another distraction to numb the ache in your soul. But I whispered to your spirit, and you stayed. I have watched you sitting by your own version of the pool of Bethesda, watching others step into their miracles, while you remain on the sidelines, paralyzed by a weight you cannot name. I have seen the silent tears you've wiped away when the world wasn't looking, and I have heard the questions you were too afraid to pray out loud. This is not a video. It is a divine appointment, a portal opened specifically for the one I have called by name. I am not a distant memory or a story in an old book. I am here breathing into your weariness, ready to tell you why your season of stagnation is ending right now. Before I reveal the deeper mystery of the blessing I am carrying for you, I want you to acknowledge this moment. If you can feel my presence pressing against the walls of your heart, do not remain silent. This is your first act of faith. Declare your presence before the heavens. Type "I am here, Lord," or 7007 in the comments right now to open the gates of my favor over your life. Join this family of chosen believers and press the like button to signal your agreement with what I am about to do. Subscribe to this channel to stay connected to my voice, for the journey we are beginning today is one of total restoration. By doing this, you are telling the enemy that you are no longer hiding and that you are ready to claim what has been stolen from you. The heavens are watching your response, and I am waiting to see the spark of your faith ignite. My precious child, you have often wondered if I have forgotten your name, or if I have misplaced your destiny among the billions of souls on this earth. You have felt like a face in a crowd, a shadow in the corner of a great room, waiting for a move that never seems to reach you. But I tell you today, I know the secret meaning behind the name I gave you before the foundations of the world were laid. There is a hidden authority in your identity that the world has tried to bury under layers of disappointment and delay. You have been tested by the discouragement test, and though you felt like you were breaking, you were actually being built. I did not bring you this far to leave you in the hallway of almost. I am the master of timing, and though you feel behind, I am aligning your steps for a divine acceleration that will make the years of waiting seem like a fleeting moment. There is something about the very essence of who you are that I am about to activate, and it will require you to leave the comfort of your pain behind forever. I saw you when you felt invisible. I saw you when you thought my silence meant abandonment. But my silence was never a sign of absence. It was the quiet of a father watching his child grow strong enough to carry the weight of a massive blessing. Real blessings are heavy, and I have been strengthening your shoulders through every trial you thought would crush you. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a victor in training. The paralysis that has held your mind, your finances, and your dreams is being dissolved by the heat of my love in this very moment. I am about to show you that I am never too late. Even at your worst moment, when you thought the door had slammed shut for good, I am the one who can walk through walls. Prepare your heart, for the revelation I am about to pour into you will shift the atmosphere of your entire life. This is the end of the old you and the beginning of the one I always intended for you to be. I see the mask you wear so perfectly, my beloved child. To the world, you are the one who has it all together. You are the pillar of strength, the one who listens to everyone else's problems, the one who shows up with a smile even when your own world is crumbling. They see your productivity, they see your achievements, and they see your kindness, but I see the exhaustion that lives behind your eyes. I see the high-functioning version of your soul that is running on fumes, pretending that the weight of the world isn't crushing your spirit. You have become a master of the invisible sickness, a paralysis of the heart that allows you to move your body while your soul remains frozen in fear. I was there in the meetings where you felt like an imposter. I was there in the social gatherings where you felt like a ghost. And I am here now acknowledging the pain you have worked so hard to hide from everyone else. You don't have to perform for me. You don't have to maintain the image of the person who never fails, because I loved you before you ever achieved a single thing. I have watched you in the stillness of the midnight hour, specifically at 3:00 a.m., when the distractions of the day fade away and the silence becomes deafening. I see you staring at the ceiling, your heart racing with a checklist of worries that you cannot escape. I feel the heaviness in your chest, that phantom weight that makes it hard to take a full, deep breath. It is a suffocation of the spirit, a lingering anxiety that whispers you are not doing enough, that you are falling behind, and that everyone will eventually find out you are struggling. You have spent so many nights wondering why you feel so alone in a room full of people, why the success you chased doesn't bring the peace I promised. I saw the silent tears that fell onto your pillow, the ones you didn't even have the energy to wipe away. Those tears are not lost. I have collected every single one of them in my bottle. They are sacred to me because they represent the truth of your heart, a truth you are finally ready to face with me by your side. You are tired of being the strong one, aren't you? You are weary of carrying the expectations of your family, your work, and your own relentless inner critic. This invisible sickness has convinced you that your value is tied to your usefulness. Because you feel paralyzed inside, you fear you are becoming worthless. But I tell you, you are not a machine built for output. You are a garden built for intimacy. The reason you feel this paralysis is not because you are weak, but because you have been trying to carry a load that was only meant for my shoulders. You have been sitting by the pool watching the water stir, but you are too emotionally exhausted to even crawl toward the healing. You see others getting their breakthroughs, their promotions, and their happy endings, and a bitter voice inside whispers that maybe you were skipped, maybe you were forgotten. I am here to silence that voice. The invisible sickness ends today, because I am bringing the light of my truth into the darkest corners of your hidden shame. I see how you have tried to fix yourself. You have read the books, you have listened to the podcasts, and you have made the New Year's resolutions, yet the inner trembling remains. You feel like you are walking through life behind a thick pane of glass. You can see the joy on the other side, but you cannot touch it. This is the comfort zone of pain, a place where you have lived for so long that the numbness has started to feel like home. You have become so accustomed to the background noise of anxiety that you don't even remember what true rest feels like. But I am the Prince of Peace, and I am standing in the middle of your chaos right now. I am looking past the facade, past the social media posts, and past the brave face you put on for your children and your friends. I am looking directly at the shivering, wounded part of you that just wants to be told it's okay to stop running. It is okay to be tired. It is okay to not have the answers. In my presence, your invisible sickness is fully seen, and what is seen by me can be healed by me. The world honors the hustle, but I honor the heart. You have been running a race that has no finish line, fueled by a fear of not being enough. I see the invisible scars left by words spoken over you in your childhood, the wounds of rejection that told you that you had to be perfect to be loved. Those wounds have created a spiritual paralysis that keeps you from stepping into the destiny I have prepared for you. You are afraid that if you truly stood up, you would just fall down again. You are afraid that your brokenness is too complex for even me to untangle. But remember, I am the one who knit you together in your mother's womb. I know every fiber of your being, every neuron in your brain, and every rhythm of your heart. There is no sickness, visible or invisible, that is beyond my reach. You have been waiting for someone to help you into the water, but I am the living water, and I have come to you. Do you feel the shift beginning? Do you feel the warmth of my love starting to melt the ice that has encased your heart for years? This is the moment where the pretending stops and the healing begins. You don't have to wait for the right time or for your circumstances to change before you can be whole. The invisible sickness thrives in the dark, but I am the light of the world, and I'm shining into your soul right now. I want you to take a deep breath, a real one, the kind you haven't taken in months. Let out the tension in your shoulders. Let go of the need to be perfect. You are in the hands of the great physician, and I am not here to judge your weakness. I am here to infuse it with my strength. The paralysis is breaking, and the mask is falling away. You are being seen, you are being known, and you are being loved exactly as you are, in the middle of your mess. My child, let us speak about the walls you have built, not to keep the world out, but to keep your pain in. There is a strange, deceptive safety in the familiar ache of your heart. You have sat by this pool of Bethesda for so long that you have memorized every crack in the stone, every shadow that falls at noon, and every ripple in the stagnant water. Your suffering has become a predictable companion. You know exactly how it feels to wake up with that heaviness in your chest. You know exactly what words your mind will whisper when you face a challenge, and you know the bitter rhythm of your own disappointment. Because you know it so well, you have mistaken this familiarity for security. You are afraid that if I were to take this pain away, you wouldn't know who you are anymore. You have let your trauma become your name and your past become your home. But I tell you today, I did not create you to live in a tomb of what-ifs and if-onlys. I created you to be a vessel of my glory, a creature of light and movement, not a statue of sorrow frozen in time. I have seen how you have wrapped your identity around your scars until you began to believe that the scars are all there is to you. You have entered into a silent contract with your misery, agreeing to stay small, so that you don't have to face the terrifying possibility of being great. It is easier to say, I am broken, than to say I am responsible for my healing. It is easier to blame the people who hurt you, the systems that failed you, or the timing that was off, than it is to look at me and admit that you have become addicted to the comfort of your own cage. You use your pain as a shield to protect yourself from the risk of trying again. You tell yourself that if you never get up, you can never fall down. But I am looking at you now with eyes of fire and infinite love, and I am telling you that this safety is a lie from the enemy to keep you from the destiny I wrote for you before the sun was ever formed. You are not safe here. You are merely stagnant. And anything that stays stagnant for too long begins to lose its life. I want you to stop right now. Wherever you are, whatever is racing through your mind, I command a holy pause. Close your eyes and take a deep, intentional breath. This breath is not just oxygen. It is my ruach, my spirit, entering your lungs. Feel the air fill the spaces where you have been holding your breath for years. As you exhale, imagine the walls of your comfort zone beginning to crack. This is a micro-action of the soul. You are reminding your body that you are still alive, that you are still capable of expansion. You have been living in a shallow, suffocating way, only taking in enough grace to survive the next hour. But I am inviting you to breathe deeply into the abundance I have prepared for you. Feel the tension in your neck and your jaw begin to melt. That tension is the physical manifestation of your struggle to control a world that was never yours to carry. Release it. In this breath, realize that you are not being punished by this season. You are being invited to outgrow it. There is a psychological weight to your stillness that is harder to break than any physical chain. You have become a spectator of your own life, watching the years pass by like a movie you aren't starring in. You see others stepping into their troubled waters and coming out whole. And instead of being inspired, you feel a deepening sense of, why not me? The tragedy of the comfort zone of pain is that it turns your heart into a desert, where the only thing that grows is the weed of resentment. You resent the happy, you resent the healthy, and eventually you start to resent me. You ask, Lord, why haven't you moved me? While I am asking, my child, why haven't you reached out? I am not a God who forces my way into a heart that is closed by the locks of self-pity. I am standing at the door and knocking, but you have piled the furniture of your past failures against that door to keep the wind of change from blowing in. You are afraid that if you let me in, I will demand that you change, and change is the one thing your pain self fears the most. You must understand that the enemy of your soul does not need to destroy you. He only needs to keep you comfortable in your dysfunction. If he can keep you focused on your mat, your limited resources, your failed relationships, your lack of support, he can keep you from ever seeing the horizon. You have become so focused on the few feet of space around your suffering that you have forgotten there is a whole world waiting for your specific touch. Your pain has become an idol, a dark god that you worship with your attention and your constant meditation. Every time you replay a conversation where you were wronged, you are booing at the altar of your comfort zone. Every time you tell the story of your limitation as if it is a final law, you are giving power to the darkness. I am here to break that altar. I am here to tell you that the story you have been telling yourself is a work of fiction. The truth is that you are powerful, you are chosen, and you are currently standing on the edge of a miracle that requires you to hate your comfort more than you fear the unknown. The time for sitting in the shadows is over. The numbness you have used as a survival tactic is now the very thing that is killing your potential. I am calling you out of the gray areas and into the vibrant, terrifying, beautiful light of my purpose. It will be uncomfortable. It will require you to use muscles you haven't moved in 38 years. It will require you to stand up while your legs are still shaking. But I promise you, the moment you decide that you are tired of being safe and miserable, the entire host of heaven will rush to your side. We are moving past the validation of your pain and into the activation of your power. You have been a resident of the pool of Bethesda for too long. You were meant to be a walker, a runner, a climber. The mat was meant to be a temporary resting place, not a permanent residence. Are you ready to admit that your comfort zone has become a prison? Because only when you admit the bars are there can I reach through and pull them apart. Look at me. I am standing before you, peering into the very depths of your soul, past the layers of exhaustion and the walls of defense you have built. I have one question for you, a question so simple that it pierces like a double-edged sword, a question that will determine the entire trajectory of your future existence. Do you truly want to be made whole? On the surface, this may seem like a cruel or foolish thing to ask. You have been suffering, you have been crying out in the night, and you have spent your very life searching for a way out of this darkness. But I ask because I know the human heart better than you know yourself. I know that to be healed means more than just the absence of your pain. It means the end of your excuses. It means you can no longer use your past as a crutch or your current weakness as an alibi for your stagnation. I am asking if you are ready to surrender the identity of a sufferer, to take on the terrifying and glorious responsibility of a conqueror. Many people want the relief of a miracle, but they are not ready for the restoration of their purpose. Because restoration requires you to change the way you think, the way you speak, and the way you interact with the world around you. I am the potter, and you are the clay, but I will never force my hands upon a heart that chooses to stay hardened in its own misery. I respect the gift of free will I placed within you so deeply that I will wait at the very edge of your breakthrough until you give me your yes. You have sat by your pool of Bethesda for a long time. Perhaps it has been 38 years of a literal condition, or 38 months of financial drought, or 38 days of intense mental agony. But hear me clearly, the duration of your struggle does not dictate the timing of your miracle. Your willingness does. I am not asking if you have the strength to heal yourself, for I am the source of all power and the architect of every atom in your body. I am asking if you have the courage to let go of the version of yourself that is defined by what you lack. If I heal your finances today, are you ready to be a faithful steward of abundance? If I heal your body, are you ready to use your strength to serve my kingdom? If I heal your heart, are you ready to walk in the radical forgiveness that wholeness demands? This question is a threshold, a divine line in the sand. It is the moment where your human faith must intersect with my divine sovereignty. You have spent so much of your prayer time telling me how big your problem is, how deep the water is, and how many people have let you down. But I am here today, looking you in the eye, asking you how big your desire for freedom actually is. Do not give me a list of reasons why you are still on the ground. Do not tell me about the person who pushed you, the parent who didn't love you, or the boss who overlooked you. I am not talking to them. I am talking to you. I am looking past your history and staring directly into your destiny. Your yes is the master key that unlocks the door that has been rusted shut by years of doubt and disappointment. When you say yes to being whole, you are making a covenant to stop seeking the pity of others. You are deciding that the vision I have for your future is more important than the comfort of your current paralysis. You are choosing the unknown path of life over the familiar path of slow decay. Listen to the vibration of my voice in your spirit right now. I am not here to merely sympathize with your stagnation. I am here to annihilate it. But I require your cooperation. Every miracle I perform is a partnership between heaven's limitless grace and your radical obedience. I am the God who makes the blind see, the deaf hear, and the dead rise. But I always look for a move of the heart first. If you truly want to be made whole, you must be prepared for the old things to pass away completely. You must be prepared for the world to stop feeling sorry for you and start expecting greatness from you. This is the weight of wholeness. It is a beautiful weight, a royal calling, but it is one you must choose with intention. So I ask you one more time, with the urgency of a father who sees the miracle waiting just an inch from your reach. Do you want to be healed? Or have you fallen in love with the chains that have kept you bound? The water is stirring, but the choice to move is yours. I have heard the echo of your most frequent heart cry, the one you whisper when you see others receiving the very things you have been fasting and praying for. You say, Lord, I have no one to help me. I have no one to put me into the water when it is stirred. Others have friends, they have connections, they have mentors and families who carry them to their breakthrough. But I am alone. You have spent years looking to the left and to the right, searching for a human hand to lift you, a human voice to recommend you, or a human heart to finally notice your distress. You have built a fortress of if-onlys. If only I had a partner. If only I had a supportive boss. If only I had been born into a different family. This is the excuse of loneliness, a subtle trap that has convinced you that my power is somehow limited by the absence of other people in your life. You have been waiting for a man to move you while the creator of the ends of the earth is standing right in front of you, ready to do what no human being could ever accomplish. Stop looking for a horizontal solution to a vertical problem. When you depend on the arms of flesh, you will always be disappointed, for even the best of people are but shadows and dust. I have allowed some of those doors to stay closed and some of those people to walk away because I am a jealous God. I will not share my glory with a human benefactor. If a man had lifted you into the pool, you would have spent the rest of your life thanking that man. But when I am the one who commands you to rise, you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was my hand and my hand alone that snatched you from the pit. Your loneliness has not been a sign of my absence. It has been a divine insulation. I have been stripping away your dependencies on the approval and the assistance of others so that you could finally learn to lean entirely on my strength. You think you are being ignored by the world, but in reality, you are being set apart by me. The no one you are complaining about is actually an invitation to experience the one. You do not need a crowd to get to your miracle. You do not need an influential person to vouch for your character. You do not need a committee to decide if it is your turn. The water of my grace is not a limited resource that only the fastest or the most connected can reach. I am the source of the water, and I have stepped out of eternity and into your specific moment of isolation to tell you that the middleman is no longer required. You have been looking at the pool, but I want you to look at the architect. You have been looking at the help you don't have, but I want you to look at the help that is already here. Your lack of human support is not a barrier to my blessing. It is the perfect stage for a supernatural demonstration. When there is no one else to take the credit, the testimony of your life will shine with a light that cannot be denied. I know the sting of being overlooked while others are celebrated. I saw you when you were the only one not invited. I saw you when you did the work and someone else took the praise. I saw you when you reached out for help and were met with cold silence. Do not let these moments turn into a root of bitterness that paralyzes you further. These people are not your source, and their rejection is often my protection. I have been training you to find your validation in my eyes alone. You are not alone in the sense of being abandoned. You are alone in the sense of being prepared for an intimacy that the distracted crowd will never know. The very fact that you have no one makes you the perfect candidate for my most radical intervention. I don't need a human bridge to get to you. I can walk on the water of your tears to reach you right where you are. Let go of the resentment you hold toward those who didn't help you. Forgive them for not being the saviors you wanted them to be, for they were never meant to carry the weight of your destiny. Only I can carry that. Your miracle is not hidden in a social network or a bank's approval. It is hidden in your willingness to stop looking at the crowd and start looking at my face. The moment you stop saying, "I have no one," and start saying, "I have the Lord," the atmosphere around you will begin to shift. The chains of self-pity are breaking. The dependency on human favor is dissolving. You are being moved from the horizontal realm of struggle into the vertical realm of sovereign grace. It is just you and me now, and I promise you I am more than enough to turn your no one into a new life. Imagine the scene at the pool of Bethesda. A multitude of the sick, the blind, the lame, and the withered, thousands of stories of grief gathered in one place. The air was thick with the scent of desperation and the sound of low groans. Everyone was waiting for the same thing, watching for a single ripple when in the water. To the casual observer, it was just a sea of nameless suffering, a statistic of human misery. But as I walked through those 5 porches, I did not see a multitude. I saw individuals. My eyes scanned the faces of the many, but my heart was fixed on a specific location. I walked past those who had people to help them, past those who were only recently arrived, and I stopped. I stopped right in front of you. Because out of every soul present that day, your heart was the one echoing with a frequency I could not ignore. You felt like just another number, a forgotten detail in a crowded world. But in my eyes, you were the center of the universe in that moment. You have lived so much of your life feeling like background noise in other people's stories. You felt like you were just a face in the crowd, a name on a list, someone whose presence or absence wouldn't change the outcome of the day. But I want you to understand the scandalous nature of my love. I would have come to that pool if you were the only person there. I would have walked through the fire and the storm just to reach your specific mat. My grace is not a general broadcast. It is a laser-focused beam directed at the hidden places of your soul. While others were shouting for attention, I heard your silence. While others were trying to push their way to the front, I saw you receding into the back, convinced that you were unworthy of a miracle. But it is in your unworthiness that my grace finds its greatest joy. I am not attracted to the strong who think they can save themselves. I am irresistibly drawn to the one who knows that without me, they will never rise. Can you feel my eyes upon you right now, piercing through the screen, through the digital noise, and resting gently on your heart? I am not looking at the billions of other people on this planet at this very second. I am looking at you. If you can feel that divine gaze, if you can sense that this message was hand-delivered by the Holy Spirit to your specific situation, do not let this moment pass without a response. This is your connection to the miraculous. Pause for a second and press the like button as an act of agreement, showing heaven that you recognize my presence. Make sure you have subscribed to this family of the chosen, so you never have to wander through the crowd alone again. Your membership here is a signal that you are choosing to walk with me. Comment "I am the one you came for" or 777 to claim your personal place in my plan. By doing this, you are stepping out of the shadows of the crowd and into the light of my intimate favor. This intimacy is what the world cannot understand. They see the outward results, the miracle, but they do not see the conversation that happens in the secret place between a father and his child. You are not a project to be fixed. You are a beloved to be restored. I did not come to that pool to perform a show. I came to have an encounter. And I am here now in this very moment of your life to have that same encounter with you. The crowd may judge you, the crowd may overlook you, and the crowd may even try to walk over you on their way to their own goals. But the Creator of all things has stopped his walk just to stand by your side. Your value is not determined by how the crowd sees you, but by the fact that I stopped for you. The King of Kings has paused his royal procession to whisper into the ear of a weary soul, "I see you, I know you, and I am here for you." This is the foundation of your healing. Knowing that you are worth stopping for, that your pain is worth my time, and that your future is worth my intervention. In a world that prizes the loud, the fast, and the famous, my heart is still moved by the quiet faith of the one who has been waiting in the shadows. You have felt like a footnote in the history of your family, perhaps even a mistake or a burden. But I tell you, you are the masterpiece I am currently refining. Every year of that waiting was not wasted time. It was an investment in the depth of our connection. The person who gets healed instantly in the crowd often walks away and forgets the healer. But the one I stop for, the one I sit with in their isolation, becomes a friend of God. I am choosing you today, not because you are the most qualified or the most holy, but because you are the one who has waited the longest and hoped the hardest despite the silence. The crowd will see you stand up and they will wonder how it happened, but you and I will share a secret smile, knowing it happened because I found you in the throng and refused to let you go. My precious one, we must now address the most dangerous part of your long wait, the mat you have been lying on. For years, this bed, this pallet of stagnation, has been the only thing supporting you. It has held you through your darkest nights. It has caught your sweat and your tears, and it has defined the small, cramped boundaries of your world. But over time, a subtle and deadly transformation has occurred. You have begun to believe that you and the mat are one and the same. You have allowed your condition to become your identity. When people ask who you are, your mind immediately goes to your struggle. You think of yourself as the sick one, the poor one, the abandoned one, or the one who failed. You have allowed the fabric of your circumstances to weave itself into the fabric of your soul. But I am here today as the master weaver to tell you that you are not the bed you lie on. You are the eternal spirit I breathed life into long before that mat ever existed. I am separating you from your limitations right now. I see how the world has labeled you, and more tragically, how you have accepted those labels as your true name. You have answered to the call of victim for so long that the voice of victor sounds like a stranger to you. You have let your bank balance your medical reports and your broken relationships dictate your value. If the world sees you as less than you have agreed with them. But I do not see as man sees. Man looks at the outward appearance, the mat, the paralysis, the poverty. But I look at the heart. I see the dormant strength, the hidden fire, and the royal lineage that still flows through your spiritual veins. You are not a broke person. You are an heir to the kingdom currently experiencing a trial of faith. You are not a depressed person. You are a vessel of my joy currently walking through a shadow. The shadow is not you. The valley is not your home. I am drawing a divine line in the sand today, separating who you are from what you are going through. Do not stay silent as this truth pierces the lies you've believed. If you can feel the chains of your old identity snapping, if you can feel the victim within you dying so that the victor can rise, you must affirm this shift with your own words. This is a moment of profound spiritual alignment. I want you to tell the heavens and the earth that you no longer belong to your past. Type "I believe in my new identity" or 888 in the comments right now to claim this transformation. By doing this, you are telling the enemy that he can no longer call you by your old name. You are agreeing with my vision for your life. Feel the weight of the old labels falling off your shoulders as you type those words. This is your middle interaction, a sacred affirmation that you are no longer the person who started watching this video. You are becoming who I said you are. Imagine a diamond that has been dropped into a pit of thick black mud. For years it sits there covered and hidden. Anyone passing by would only see a lump of dirt. Even the diamond itself might start to think I am just mud. I am heavy, I am dark, and I am worthless. But the mud is just a temporary coating. It does not change the molecular structure of the diamond. Underneath the filth, the brilliance remains. I am the one who reaches into the mud. I don't see the dirt. I see the sparkle. I am washing you clean right now with the water of my word. I am scrubbing away the years of shame, the layers of guilt, and the crust of not being good enough. You are coming out of this season with a clarity and a shine that will blind those who once mocked you. Your worth is not determined by the mud that covered you, but by the hands that created you. This separation is necessary because you cannot walk into your future while you are still married to your past. To receive the new thing I am doing, you must be willing to let the old things pass away. You must stop protecting your pain. You must stop making excuses for why you are still on the mat. You are being called to a higher level of existence where you are defined by my promises, not by your problems. The mat was meant to be a resting place, a temporary season of preparation, but you have made it a permanent residence. I am evicting you from your comfort zone of misery today. I am detaching your heart from the identity of the sufferer. You are about to become a testimony, a walking miracle that causes people to ask, "Is this not the one who used to sit by the pool?" And you will say, "I am the one, but I am no longer that person. I have been separated from my mat by the voice of God." The time for conversation has ended, and the moment of creation has begun. I have listened to your story, I have validated your pain, and I have separated your identity from your struggle. Now I am stepping into the atmosphere of your stagnation with the same authority that commanded light to pierce the darkness at the dawn of time. I am not giving you a suggestion. I am issuing a divine decree that overrides every law of physics, every medical report, and every financial limitation that has held you hostage. I am looking at you right where you are, on your couch, in your bed, or walking down a busy street, and I am speaking 3 words that will shatter the foundations of your paralysis. These words are not for your ears alone. They are for the very marrow of your bones and the deepest recesses of your subconscious. My voice is vibrating through the walls of your prison, and the gates are swinging open. The moment of waiting is officially over. The moment of becoming is here. Get up. This is the first movement of your miracle. It is a command to change your spiritual posture before your physical reality catches up. For years, you have been living life from a horizontal perspective, looking up at everyone else, looking up at your problems, and looking up at a ceiling you thought was your limit. To get up means you must decide in this very second that you are no longer a resident of the floor. It is the sudden, violent rejection of the downward life. I am calling your spirit to stand at its full height. This requires a radical effort of your will. You might feel like your legs are still weak, and the voices of your past might be screaming that you are not ready. Ignore them. When I say get up, I provide the strength within the command itself. As you make the internal decision to rise, my power is flooding your nervous system, realigning your spine, and igniting your courage. You are not rising by your own might, but by the same power that rolled the stone away from the tomb. Stand up in your mind. Stand up in your heart. Stand up in your faith. Pick up your bed. Why would I ask you to carry the very thing that has been the symbol of your shame? Why not leave it behind at the pool to rot? Because I want you to have mastery over what once had mastery over you. For 38 years, that bed told you where you could go and how far you could reach. It was your master. But today the order is reversed. By picking up your bed, you are turning your greatest weakness into your greatest trophy. You are folding up your history of not enough and carrying it as a witness to my glory. Every time you look at that mat in your hand, you will be reminded that what used to hold you is now something you hold. You are taking authority over your anxiety, over your debt, and over your trauma. You are saying to the world, "This used to be my prison, but now it is just evidence of my God's power." Do not be afraid to touch the relics of your past. You are now fireproof, and the past can no longer burn you. You are carrying your testimony, and it is lighter than you ever imagined. Walk. This is the final and most vital part of the command. Do not just stand there and marvel at the fact that you are upright. Do not linger by the pool to see if the others notice your transformation. Move. Step away from the place of your stagnation and never look back. To walk is an act of continuous progression. It means you are entering a new rhythm of life where you are no longer waiting for the stirring of the water to be happy. You are the stirring now. Every step you take is a declaration of independence from the kingdom of darkness. I am not calling you to run a marathon today. I am calling you to take the first step of a journey that leads to your highest destiny. Walk into the room you were afraid to enter. Walk into the bank with a new confidence. Walk into your relationships with a healed heart. The miracle is not just in the rising, it is in the walking. As long as you keep moving, the paralysis can never return. I am clearing the path before you, leveling the mountains and making the crooked ways straight. Can you feel the electricity of my word surging through you? The atmosphere around you is thick with the weight of this breakthrough. This is the moment where theory becomes reality. If you can feel the strength returning to your spirit, if you can feel the heaviness lifting from your chest, and if you are ready to walk into the freedom I have purchased for you, then you must seal this command with your own act of faith. Do not let this word fall to the ground. Press that like button as if you are pressing the button to your own liberation. Ensure you are subscribed to this channel, marking yourself as a permanent resident of my kingdom of light. And then I want you to declare your movement to the world. Type "I am rising and walking" or 1111 in the comments. By doing this, you are recording your exit from the pool of Bethesda. You are telling every demon and every doubt that your mat is now in your hands and your feet are on the path of purpose. The world will not recognize the person who walks away from this video. You were a beggar, but you are walking away a prince. You were a patient, but you are walking away a pioneer. The command has been issued and it cannot be revoked. The laws of nature have been suspended for your sake. The same voice that told the storm, "Peace, be still," is now telling your life, "Rise, pick up your bed, and walk." There is no more delay. There is no more maybe. There is only the rhythmic sound of your footsteps moving toward the abundance I have prepared for you since the beginning of time. Do not look at your feet. Look at me. I am the one walking beside you. I am the one walking behind you as your rear guard, and I am the one walking before you to open doors no man can shut. This is your day of liberation. This is your moment of destiny. Walk, my beloved child. Walk into the light. Why did I ask you to carry that heavy, dusty, tear-stained mat? Why did I not simply tell you to leave it behind in the dirt of the 5 porches, to be forgotten and trampled by the crowd? It is because I am the God who redeems every second of your suffering, and I never waste a single tear. That mat is not a burden. It is your credential. It is the physical proof that what once defined you is now beneath you. For 38 years, that bed was the boundary of your existence. It saw your lowest moments, it heard your most desperate whispers, and it felt the cold weight of your hopelessness. If you had left it there, people would only see a man walking. But by carrying it, they see a miracle in motion. They see that the God of the impossible has taken the very platform of your paralysis and turned it into a trophy of His grace. You are not just a survivor. You are a living witness that the things meant to destroy you are now the things you have conquered. I know how to take the broken pieces of your history and assemble them into a masterpiece that will leave the world in awe. You have often looked at your past, the mistakes, the betrayals, the seasons of absolute lack, and wished you could erase them from the record of your life. You feel that those years were wasted, eaten away by the locusts of time and trauma. But I am the master of restoration. I am taking those wasted years and turning them into a depth of character that the comfortable could never understand. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are your credentials for the high places I am taking you. Only a person who has known the darkness of the pit can truly speak of the glory of the light. Only a person who has carried the mat of paralysis can lead others to their own healing. Your history is not a secret to be hidden. It is the foundation upon which I am building a testimony that will shake the foundations of your family and your community. As you walk through the streets of your new life, people will look at you and they will recognize the mat you carry. They will remember when you were the one who couldn't move, the one who was always asking for help, the one who seemed destined for a life of not enough. But now, as they see you walking with strength and dignity, carrying the very thing that used to hold you, they will be forced to acknowledge that there is a power greater than human logic at work. Your shame is being transformed into your greatest glory. I am making your life a testimony, which means a doing again. Every time someone hears your story, it releases the power for me to do it again in their life. You are not just healed for yourself. You are healed to be a lighthouse for every soul still sitting by the pool waiting for a move. Your mat is a signpost pointing straight to me. Do not be ashamed of where you have been, my child. The weight of that mat in your hands is a reminder of my faithfulness. It is a reminder that I did not bring you this far to leave you. It is a reminder that when you were at your worst, I was at my best. I am preparing you to handle the weight of the massive blessing that is coming next. And the strength you developed while lying on that mat is exactly what you need to carry the crown I have for you. You have passed the test of discouragement, and now you are entering the season of fulfillment. Your past is no longer your prison, it is your platform. Hold your head high as you carry your trophy. The world sees the struggle, but I see the victory. The world sees the victim, but I see the victor who chose to stand up when everything said it was impossible. Everything you have asked me for is coming to you through this process. You wanted the blessing without the mat, but I knew that without the mat, you wouldn't have the strength to protect the blessing. I have used your difficulties to solve the problems in your character, preparing you for a level of maturity that can sustain the abundance I am pouring out. You are stronger than you think, because my strength is made perfect in your weakness. The bed you are carrying today is light compared to the glory that is about to be revealed in you. You are moving from a hidden season of preparation into a public season of manifestation. Do not drop the mat. Keep it as a reminder of where I found you, so that you never forget the God who looked into a crowded room of suffering and chose you. As you began your walk away from the porches of Bethesda, you might have expected a choir of angels to sing, or the crowds to part in reverent silence. Instead, you were met with the harsh, cold voices of the Pharisees. They did not celebrate your new strength. They did not weep with joy at the sight of your standing legs. No, they looked at you, and they saw a violation of their rules. They said, "It is the Sabbath. It is not lawful for you to carry your mat." Is this not exactly what you are facing today? Just as you begin to rise, just as you start to experience a glimmer of hope, or a breakthrough in your finances or your health, the critics emerge from the shadows. There will always be people who are more committed to their traditions and their comfort than they are to your restoration. They liked you better when you were on the mat, because your weakness made them feel superior. Your stagnation was predictable to them, and they are terrified of a version of you that they can no longer control or pity. I want you to listen closely to how the man answered his critics. He didn't try to explain the biology of his healing or the theology of the Sabbath. He simply said, "The man who made me well said to me, 'Pick up your mat and walk.' This must be your only defense against the voices of judgment that are swirling around you right now. You do not owe an explanation to people who did not suffer with you. You do not need the permission of those who never prayed for you during your 38 years of silence. If I have authorized your elevation, no human being has the power to veto it. When they tell you that you are too much, or that you are getting ahead of yourself, or that it won't last, you must remember that their opinion did not heal you, and therefore their opinion cannot bind you. I have given you the command to rise, and that command is the highest law in the universe. Do not let the small minds of those around you shrink the vision I have given you for your future. The modern-day Pharisees are the voices on social media, the toxic family members, and the jealous colleagues who thrive on your struggle. They are the ones who remind you of your past failures every time you try to speak of your future. But hear me. I have allowed these voices to rise only so that you can prove to your own soul that your healing is deeper than your need for human approval. This is the final test of your maturity. Can you carry your trophy while being mocked? Can you walk into your destiny while being misunderstood? If you can only be happy when everyone is cheering for you, then you are still a slave to their whims. I am setting you free from the prison of people-pleasing today. I am giving you a holy thick skin that allows the arrows of criticism to bounce off you without leaving a mark. You are not walking for them. You are walking for me. Sometimes, my child, you have to learn to zip it. Do not try to convince the mockers of my goodness. Your life will be the only argument they cannot defeat. Your results will speak louder than your defense ever could. There are seeds of greatness in you that are just beginning to take root, and if you expose them to the cold wind of negative opinions, you might be tempted to dig them up. Do not share your big dreams with small-minded people. They cannot see what I have shown you because they have not been where I have taken you. Every time you defend yourself to a critic, you are giving away the energy you need for your walk. Save your breath for your praise. Save your strength for your journey. The Pharisees stayed at the pool while the man walked into the temple. If you stay to argue with the people who don't understand your miracle, you will miss the celebration waiting for you at the next level of your destiny. I have not brought you this far for you to be stopped by a comment, a look, or a whispered rumor. The trouble you are facing from others is not there to stop you. It is there to push you forward, to make you rely even more on my voice. On the other side of this judgment is a new level of authority. When you show the world that you are unfazed by their rejection because you are anchored in my acceptance, you become truly unstoppable. You are being trained to lead, and leaders must be comfortable being misunderstood. Focus your eyes on the path ahead. The mat in your hand is heavy enough. Don't add the weight of other people's expectations to your load. I am your judge, your vindicator, and your father. I say you are forgiven. I say you are well supplied. I say you are the head and not the tail. Let that be enough. My child, I hear the ticking of the clock in your mind. I see you looking at the calendar, counting the months and years that seem to have slipped through your fingers like sand. You look at your peers who have already reached the milestones you once dreamed of, and you feel the biting sting of being left behind. You feel as though you have wasted your youth, your energy, or your best opportunities sitting by a pool that never rippled for you. But I am here to remind you that I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And I am not bound by the linear constraints of human time. To you, a year is a long journey of 365 days. To me, 1,000 years are but a watch in the night. I am the master of time, and I have the power to collapse decades of delay into a single moment of divine manifestation. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be for the greatest acceleration of your life to begin. I am giving you a promise that will quiet the anxiety in your soul. I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten. I will compensate you for the seasons of sickness, the years of debt, and the decades of silence. You think those 38 years were lost, but I tell you, they were a storage house of wisdom and endurance that you are about to draw from. In my kingdom, nothing is ever truly lost. I am the God of the second chance, the third chance, and the 11th hour miracle. What took others 20 years to build, I can help you achieve in 20 months or 20 days. This is divine acceleration. Because you have waited with patient endurance, I am putting your life on a fast track. The doors that were locked for a lifetime are about to swing open so quickly, it will make your head spin. I am compressing the harvest of your lifetime into this current season. Do not look back at the wasted years with regret, for regret is a thief that steals the joy of your current miracle. I was working behind the scenes, even when you couldn't see me. I was preparing the ground, I was aligning the players, and I was strengthening your spirit to handle the weight of the blessing that is now arriving. If I had given you the breakthrough 30 years ago, you wouldn't have had the maturity to sustain it. But now you have been refined in the fire. You have the character to match your calling. The delay was not a denial, it was a divine shielding. I was keeping you hidden until the perfect moment when your light would shine the brightest. That moment is now. You are emerging from your hidden season not as a victim of time, but as a master of your destiny. Everything I have for you is arriving right on schedule. My schedule, which is always perfect. I make everything beautiful in its time, and your time has finally come. The 38 years of your struggle are being transformed into a testimony that will last for generations. Imagine your life as a container. For years, you have been emptied of pride, emptied of self-reliance, and emptied of the need for human validation. Now I am filling that empty space with my glory, my favor, and my abundance. Because there is so much room in you now, the overflow will be greater than anything you could have imagined in your youth. I am the God who can give you back your health, restore your relationships, and multiply your finances in a way that makes the previous loss look like a small deposit. You are not finishing last. You are finishing with a strength that those who started early can only envy. The race is not to the swift, but to those who I have empowered to soar. Trust my timing, my beloved one. If it hasn't happened yet, it's only because the miracle is going to be bigger than you thought. I am never too late. I arrived at the tomb of Lazarus 4 days late by human standards, but I was right on time for a resurrection. I arrived at the pool of Bethesda after 38 years, but I was right on time for a transformation. I am arriving in your life today at this exact minute of this exact hour to tell you that the clock is being reset in your favor. Stop stressing about your age, stop worrying about your timeline, and simply live your best life in my presence. I am the one who holds your times in my hands. Relax, breathe, and watch as I turn your long winter into a sudden radiant spring. The years of lack are over. The years of the great compensation have begun. The gate of the 5 porches is now behind you, and for the first time in nearly 4 decades, the horizon looks different. You are no longer looking at the world through the dust of the floor. You are looking at it from the height of a conqueror. Can you feel the rhythm of your own footsteps? That sound is the heartbeat of your new destiny. Every step you take away from your place of pain is a step into a future I have meticulously prepared for you. You are walking into rooms you once thought were closed to people like you. You are speaking to people you once feared. You are dreaming dreams that are no longer limited by your physical or financial condition. The prison door is not just unlocked, it has been taken off its hinges. As you walk, the very ground beneath you is responding to your new authority. The atmosphere of lack is evaporating, replaced by the fragrance of my favor. You are moving into a season where the impossible will become your daily bread, and the miraculous will be your new normal. I want you to see yourself a year from now, looking back at this very moment. You will see that this was the day the trajectory of your entire family line changed. The curse of stagnation has been broken not just for you, but for the generations that will follow you. You are the pioneer, the one who had the courage to listen to my voice and stand up when everyone else stayed down. Your house will be a place of laughter instead of sighing. Your hands, which once trembled with anxiety, will now build empires and provide for the needy. Your mind, which was a battlefield of intrusive thoughts, is now a sanctuary of my peace. You are not just surviving anymore. You are thriving in the center of my will. The memory of the mat is fading, replaced by the reality of the crown. Do not look back at the pool with longing or regret. There is nothing left for you there but empty shadows. Your life is ahead of you, and it is more radiant than you could have ever asked or imagined. Receive now this final blessing, for my words do not return to me void. They accomplish exactly what I sent them to do. I bless your feet to carry you into high places where my name will be glorified through your success. I bless your hands to prosper in everything they touch, turning your small seeds into a massive harvest. I bless your mind with a clarity that surpasses human understanding, and I bless your heart with a joy that no circumstance can steal. I declare that the spirit of heaviness is gone, and the garment of praise is yours to wear. I decree that every debt is being canceled, every sickness is being uprooted, and every broken relationship is being reconciled according to my perfect plan. You are covered by the blood of Jesus, protected from every arrow that flies by day and every terror that stalks by night. You are my beloved, my chosen, and my pride. Go forth in this strength, for I am with you always, even unto the end of the age. This word has been spoken, and it is now being sealed in the archives of heaven. This prophecy is no longer just a message. It is your reality. But before you step fully into this new day, you must lock this blessing into your life so that the enemy cannot steal the seed that has been planted. This is the final act of your transition. Seal this prophecy now and forever. Type Amen, or it is done in the comments, to lock this blessing into your soul. If you truly receive this healing and this rebirth, press the like button one last time to activate the energy of your agreement. Ensure you are subscribed to this family of believers, for we are walking this path of glory together, and I do not want you to lose your way in the world's noise. If you feel a deep sense of gratitude for this radical intervention, consider sending a super thanks as a seed of thanksgiving, honoring the breakthrough that has just taken place. The water has stirred, the command has been given, and you have risen. The walk you are starting today will never end in a pit again. You are walking into freedom, walking into light, and walking into the fullness of the person I created you to be. The old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. I am watching you with a father's joy as you take these first confident steps. Go now and tell the world what the man at the pool did for you. Your story is just beginning, and it is a masterpiece of grace.